It's been 7 years since Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions, Moketedi Mshe, made a decision that changed the course of South African history.
It is neither possible nor desirable for the NPA to continue with the prosecution of Mr. Zuma.
Mshe did not, however, dispute that the state had a strong case against Zuma. He said recordings of then Scorpions head Leonard McCarthy and former NPA boss Bulelani Ngcuka showed that they had tried to manipulate the timing of Zuma's prosecution. The NPA maintains that this was done to improve former President Thabo Mbeki's chances of winning the battle for leadership of the ANC.
It is not so much the prosecution itself that is tainted, but the legal process that is tainted. It does not matter that the team acted properly, honestly, fairly, and justly throughout. Mr. McCarthy's conduct amounts to a serious abuse of process and offends one's sense of justice.
In other words, the state never disputed that it had a strong case against Jacob Zuma. And central to that case was a 500-page KPMG forensic audit which suggested very strongly that Zuma was incapable of managing his own financial affairs and was dependent on payments from his financial advisor, Shabir Sheikh, to survive. Those payments amounted to about 4 million rand, with payments from other benefactors totaling 3 million rand. Sheikh was convicted of corrupting Zuma in exchange for using his connection to Zuma to further his own business interests. Those interests included contracts linked to the multi-billion rand arms deal. The Democratic Alliance was adamant that the decision not to prosecute Zuma in light of the overwhelming evidence against him was irrational. After years and years of legal wrangling, the North Gauteng High Court heard that case and was in agreement.
Zuma and Gordhan, yes.
We find that Mr. Mshe found himself under pressure and he decided to discontinue the prosecution of Mr. Zuma and consequently made an irrational decision. It is thus our view that the envisaged prosecution against Mr. Zuma was not tainted by the allegations against Mr. McCarthy. Mr. Zuma should face the charges as outlined in the indictment.
The NPA tried and failed to challenge that ruling in the Constitutional Court, which last week found that it would not be in the interest of justice for it to hear the appeal. NPA boss Shaun Abrahams says the state is still considering that ruling. But he did have a lot to say about suggestions that the state's enthusiasm to prosecute Minister Gordhan for fraud was politically motivated.
The days of looking at the National Prosecuting Authority in such a light are over. The days of non-accountability and not holding senior government officials accountable are over. I hope your question's been answered. Next question, please.
Unlike in the case against Zuma, there is no evidence that Gordhan received any financial benefit in the alleged fraud he's been charged with. He stands accused of illegally approving early retirement for then SARS Deputy Commissioner Ivan Pillay and then later extending his contract. Abrahams was unable to say whether the NPA had ever prosecuted such a case before. Karen Morn, Johannesburg.